Hi, my name is Dr. Catherine Adams, and I'll be your instructor for Introductory Psychology for the Summer 1 session. I'm excited to get to know all of you, and I hope that you enjoy the course. I wanted to take a moment and first introduce a little bit about myself. Then I'll briefly walk through some key information about the course. First, a little about me. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I attended Butler University, a small school in Indy, for my undergraduate degree. If you're into college basketball at all, you may have heard of Butler. Back in 2010 and 11, during my freshman and sophomore years there, we went back-to-back in the NCAA Men's Championship games. So I definitely got into watching college basketball during that time. And even though Butler hasn't made it back to the NCAA tournament in a few years, I still really enjoy watching and cheering on my Bulldogs. After Butler, I went about an hour north to Purdue University, where I earned my PhD in social psychology, which I completed in 2019. I then had my first teaching job for 1 year at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, quite a mouthful, before I moved out to Virginia in June 2020. When I'm not teaching, I enjoy checking out the Blacksburg Farmers Market, going for walks on the Huckleberry Trail, and of course cheering on all of my now Butler, Purdue, and VT sports teams. On the right, you can see a picture of me, my housemate, Tolu Otomayomi, and our friend Karen at my first ever VT football game. Now, a little about the course. I'll do a brief overview of some important points here, but you can check out more detailed information in our course schedule and syllabus, which are both on Canvas. In fact, our first assignment, which you'll need to complete before you can move on to the other modules, is actually a short quiz over the syllabus, so make sure you take some time to review that information in more depth. The course is divided into 14 different modules or topical units. Here you can see a screenshot of the first page of our course schedule, which is available under the Files tab on Canvas and is also linked on the Canvas homepage. In a typical week, you'll be required to complete 2 to 3 modules. Each module contains about 1 to 2 required readings and about 2 to 5 required lecture videos, typically around 10 minutes each, depending on how much material we have to cover. There's also a required quiz for each module as well. However, there's no textbook for this course. Instead, your readings for each module will primarily come from a free resource called the NOBA Project. Because this is an accelerated summer course, please keep in mind that there will be a lot for us to cover each week. In addition to the module quizzes, there will also be 3 exams in this course, which equates to 1 exam about every 2 weeks. Each exam will consist of 50 multiple choice questions and will be online using Lockdown Browser. Since the exams are online, I am making them be OpenNote and OpenBook. However, because they will be on Lockdown Browser, you will not be able to actively pull up any web pages or videos on your computer while taking the exam. That means that if you want to reference any notes during the exam, you'll need to have hard copies available. I would encourage you to actually sit down and take notes while completing the readings and watching the lecture videos, just like you would in a normal in-person class. This will hopefully help you to pay attention to the material while you are reading or watching it for the first time, and will then also be a resource that you can reference while taking exams. Additionally, because the exams are OpenNote and OpenBook, questions will be primarily application focused. That is, I won't simply ask you to remember definitions. You'll need to be able to correctly apply concepts to an example problem or situation. Let's take a look now at our Canvas homepage. On the left-hand navigation menu, you can see links to our syllabus, quizzes, modules, and course files. You can also find links to most of these on the homepage itself. For example, if you scroll down, you can see an overview of what you'll need to watch, read, and complete each week, our course objectives, links to helpful resources, including the schedule and syllabus, as well as quick links to each of the modules themselves. Let's check out Module 1 now, together. On each module page, you will see sections for our learning objectives, links to the required readings, and to the required lecture videos. Please note that if you click on the links here, you can access the PowerPoint slides for that video. Alternatively, you can also find these in the PowerPoint slides folder under the Files tab. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you will find various supplemental videos and activities that you can check out if you would like some additional information and/or study practice. These supplemental activities and videos are not required, but are optional if you want to check them out. On some modules, I'll also have links to some faculty videos that have been produced by faculty here in the Psychology Department at Virginia Tech. You can watch these if you want to learn more about different professors in the Psychology Department whose research interests match well with a particular module topic. Here in Module 1, I have all the faculty videos together for your convenience. At the very bottom of each module page is a link to the quiz over that module. These quizzes are a required component of the course. You have to complete each module quiz before you can move on to the material for the next unit. Partly, this is to help encourage you to keep on track with our course material and avoid falling behind throughout the semester. If you can't move on to a module in Canvas, it's likely that you have not completed all the required components of a previous module. So for example, if I try to navigate now to Module 2, Canvas will not let me because I haven't completed the required prerequisites from Module 1. So you can see it hasn't been unlocked yet for me, and I need to complete the Module 1 quiz in order to do so. You can also check out your progress in the course by clicking on the Modules tab here in the left-hand navigation menu, and you can see that in my student Canvas version, I have completed all the requirements for this Getting Started module, including taking the syllabus quiz and watching the welcome video. And I've also started Module 1. I've viewed the page, but I haven't taken the quiz yet. So I haven't completed all of the items for Module 1, and as a result, all of the subsequent modules are locked and they will not unlock until I complete the required prerequisites. I also want to take a moment to talk about the online structure of the course. With the freedom that comes from an online asynchronous course, also comes some challenges and responsibility on your end. Psychology is certainly a fascinating topic, and I hope that you find the information in this course to be exciting and useful. However, you will ultimately get out of this course what you put into it. If you do not regularly watch the lecture videos or only lightly skim the readings, then you probably will not walk away with a very firm understanding of our course material. While that might not sound like a big deal now, it could hurt you down the line if you plan on taking additional psychology classes, as they will all build on the foundation that we lay now in this introductory course. Even though the course is online, I do ask that you take it seriously and commit to completing the necessary work, just as you would in an in-person course. I also expect you to abide by our Virginia Tech Honor Code and Principles of Community. You are responsible for doing your own work on quizzes and exams. This also means that you should not use AI resources, such as ChatGPT, while taking exams. If I discover an instance of cheating on a quiz or exam, it will be taken very seriously and could result in failing the course or further disciplinary action from the university if necessary. Lastly, please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions over the course. I am available for regular office hours on Monday and Tuesday mornings, but I'm also happy to set up another time to meet, either in person or over Zoom, if those regular times don't work for you. Just email me to set up a time to meet. We also have a wonderful GTA in this course, Asia, who will also be holding regular office hours in the afternoons on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Asia has also posted a separate welcome video if you would like to hear more from her directly. Thank you all, and I hope that you enjoy the course this semester.